addressed him in the following words. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Vrishpanu Kanya Devidasi Mataji, you can read the shloka and the translation, and Divya Mataji the purport. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Lanvat Pranam. Ayam tu devya jana indropendradibhirbhavah saha bhagam na labhatam devai deva ganadhamah.
Hare Krishna Mataji, the translation also.
Okay. The demigods are eligible to share in the oblations of sacrifice, but Lord Shiva, who is the lowest of all the demigods, should not have a share. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Purport to Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Because of this curse, Shiva was deprived of his share in the oblation of Vedic sacrifice. It was due to the curse of Daksha. Sri Vishwanatha Chakravarti commented in this connection that Lord Shiva was saved from the calamities of taking part with other demigods, who were all materialistic. Lord Shiva is the greatest devotee of Supreme Personality of Godhead, and it is not fitting for him to eat or sit with materialistic persons like the demigods. Thus, the curse of Daksha was indirectly a blessing, for Shiva would not have to eat or sit with other demigods who were too materialistic. There is a practical example set for us by Gaura Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, who used to sit on the side of a latrine to chant Hare Krishna. Many materialistic persons used to come and bother him and disturb his daily routine of chanting. So, to avoid their company, he used to sit by the side of a latrine where materialistic persons would not go because of the filth and the obnoxious smell. However, Gaura Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj was so great that he was accepted as a spiritual master of such a great personality as His Divine Grace Om Vishnu Pada Shrimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj. The conclusion is that Lord Shiva behaved in his own way to avoid materialistic person who might disturb him in his prosecution of devotional service. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Sudha Mataji, the shloka and translation. Janaki Mataji, you can read the purport. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Pranam. निषिध्यमानस सदस्य मुख्यै दक्षो गिरित्राय विसृज्य शापं तस्माद् विनिष्क्रम्य विवृद्धमन्यो जगाम कौरव्य निजं निकेतनम. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Maitreya continued, my dear Vidura, in spite of the requests of all the members of the sacrificial assembly, Daksha in great anger cursed Lord Shiva and then left the assembly and went back to his home. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Pranam. Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Anger is so detrimental that even a great personality like Daksha, out of anger, left the arena where Brahma was presiding, and all the great sages and pious and saintly persons were assembled. All of them requested him not to leave, but infuriated, he left, thinking that the auspicious place was not fit for him. Puffed up by his exalted position, he thought that no one was greater than he in argument. It appears that all the members of the assembly, including Lord Brahma, requested him not to be angry and leave their company. But in spite of all these requests, he left. That is the effect of cruel anger. In Bhagavad Gita, therefore, it is advised that one who desires to make tangible advancement in spiritual consciousness must avoid three things: lust, anger, and the mode of passion. Actually, we can see that lust, anger, and passion make a man crazy, even though he be as great as Daksha. The very name Daksha suggests that he was expert in all material activities, but still, because of this aversion towards such a saintly personality as Shiva, he was attacked by these three enemies: anger, lust, and passion. Lord Chaitanya therefore advised that one be very careful not to offend Vaishnavas. He compared offenses toward a Vaishnava to a mad elephant, as a mad elephant can do anything horrible. So when a person offends a Vaishnava, he can perform any abominable action. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. Anita Mataji, the shloka, Kripa Mai Sita Devi Dasi Mataji, the translation, and Santi Mataji, the purport. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Jnanashapam गिरिशानुगाग्रणैर्नन्दीश्वरो रोषकषाय दूषितः दक्षाय शापं विससर्ज दारुणम् हे चान्वमोदंस्तत् अवाच्यतां द्विजाः. हरे कृष्ण.
Hare Krishna, Dandatanam Prabhuji and Mataji. Translation, Prabhupada ki jai. Upon understanding that Lord Shiva has been cursed, Nandiswara, one of Lord Shiva's principal associates, became greatly angry. His eyes became red, and he prepared to curse Daksha and all the Brahmanas present there who had tolerated Daksha's cursing Shiva in harsh words. Thank you, Prabhuji, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. There is a long-standing dissension among some of the neophyte Vaishnavas and Shaivates. They are always at loggerheads. When Daksha cursed Lord Shiva in harsh words, some of the Brahmanas present might have enjoyed it because some Brahmanas do not very much admire Lord Shiva. This is due to their ignorance of Lord Shiva's position. Nandishvara was affected by the cursing, but he did not follow the example of Lord Shiva, who was also present there. Although Lord Shiva could not also have cursed Daksha in a similar way, he was silent and tolerant. But Nandishvara, his follower, was not tolerant. Of course, as a follower, it was right for him not to tolerate an insult to his master. But he should not have cursed the Brahmanas who were present. The entire issue was so complicated that those who were not strong enough forgot their position, and thus cursing and counter cursing went on in that great assembly. In other words, the material field is so unsteady that even personalities like Nandishvara, Daksha, and many of the Brahmanas present were infected by the atmosphere of anger. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for reading the book. So, we are doing fourth canto, second chapter. Anybody remember what has happened in the first chapter? What is the name of this chapter, second chapter?
Daksha curses Lord Shiva.
Lord Shiva.
And what is the name of this canto, the fourth canto?
Creation of the fourth order.
Creation of the fourth order.
Creation of the fourth order. Mostly, predominantly, you will see Sarga and Visarga in this one. That's topics in this fourth canto. So, third canto, we saw the lineage, like, from, we are seeing from the third canto, we are seeing the lineage of Swayambhu Manu. Swayambhu Manu had 5 children. Devati, Akuti, and Prasuti, 3 daughters, 2 sons, Uttanapad and Priyavrata Maharaj. So we already saw the lineage of Devati. She got married to Kardama Muni, and then she had 9 daughters and 1 son. That's Kapila Dev, and Kapila Dev gave instructions to Devati. We saw that one, the teachings of Lord Kapila, in the third canto. And the fourth canto, you must have heard the story of or the descriptions of the lineage of Akuti. Akuti, she got married to Atri Muni, if I'm not wrong. And then Atri or Ruchi, I'm not sure.
Ruchi Prabhu.
Yeah, Ruchi.
Ruchi,
Correct. And then that is another story which is coming in that one, is that Atri Muni married Anushya, and that they gave birth to Yajna and Dakshina. They are like the the concerts. So we saw all these stories, and like at one point, because Prasuti, this is now the lineage of Prasuti. Prasuti has 16 daughters. 13 daughters got married to the personality of Dharma. I forgot the other two. So the last daughter is Sati. Okay, the last daughter is Sati, and she got married to Lord Shiva, and she did not have any daughter. Sorry, any children. So as soon as Vidura heard this, he asked, or he wanted to know why Sati did not have any children. And then in response to that, Maitreya Muni is explaining the whole story of Lord Shiva, Sati, and Daksha. So you might have seen what has happened so far. Lord Shiva and Brahma are sitting in the assembly. There was a universal assembly was arranged, and Daksha entered, and then everybody stood up, and Daksha saw that Brahma and Lord Shiva did not get up, but Daksha went to Brahmaji. He offered obeisances to Brahma because Brahma is the father, and he saw Lord Shiva didn't get up, so he became very upset because Lord Shiva was a son-in-law of Daksha. So he became very upset he became very angry. Why? Because he thought that Lord Shiva is junior to me, and he's supposed to pay obeisances, or he's supposed to stand up and give respects to me. But Lord Shiva's position is so exalted that our Daksha doesn't know or is not aware of the position of Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is one of the greatest controller of the universe, and apart from that, he's a greatest Vaishnava. He's in charge, or he's the chief of the demigods, and he's, apart from all these things, he is the greatest Vaishnava. Vaishnavanam Yadasambhu. So when Daksha did not realize the position of Lord Shiva, he became very angry. It is because of the envy that he was holding towards Lord Shiva. So Daksha, if you see, the name Daksha means very expert. Daksha means expert. Daksha Prajapati means he is the expert in creating progeny. So that's why he is called as Daksha Prajapati. He is very, very expert. But he is not aware of the exalted position of Lord Shiva. And he thought he is greater than Lord Shiva. And there was an envy towards him. That is the reason for his anger. So in text 17, if you see, Daksha, washed his hands and mouth and cursed him with the following words. So because he became angry and upset with the Lord Shiva, he started to curse Lord Shiva. But Lord Shiva, what he was doing actually, he was actually sitting in the assembly. He was meditating upon the Supreme Lord. He is the greatest Vaishnava. He doesn't care about anything what's happening around the outside world. But he was meditating upon the Supreme Lord, and Daksha became very, very angry, and he started to curse. So then what happened in text 18, if you see, he cursed. What was the curse? He said that you are not eligible to get the share in the oblations of sacrifice. And he also said, you are the lowest of all the demigods. Okay. He cursed like this. So Prabhupada writes in the purport, Lord Shiva was deprived of his share in the obligations of the Vedic sacrifices because of this curse. And actually, this curse was a boon is a boon in disguise for Lord Shiva. Why? Because we can read from the Prabhupada commentary. Prabhupada is quoting Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura commentary, and he's saying that Lord Shiva was saved from the calamity of taking part with other demigods who were all materialist. So, for example, there are so many demigods. Their desire is to enjoy material things, but Lord Shiva is completely beyond all this. The qualities. He is beyond all these things. He is not a materialist. He's completely absorbed in the meditation, in the service of Lord Sri Krishna. So if you see, whenever you see a Lord Shiva's picture, Lord Shiva is, if he's alone, like if he, sometimes we see Lord Shiva and Parvati picture, the family picture. That time it's different. But apart from that, whenever you see a Lord Shiva picture anywhere in the world, you will see Lord Shiva is on meditation. He's sitting on meditation with his Rudraksha, and he was meditating upon, he's on meditation. He's on closed eyes. So why he's closed eyes? Because he's meditating, and upon whom he's meditating? He's meditating upon the Supreme Lord. So that is the position of Lord Shiva. So this boon was this curse was a boon in disguise, that Lord Shiva doesn't have to sit and take part and eating the food along with the materialist demigods. So that's why Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur quotes, and Prabhupada also quotes the same, that Lord Shiva is saved from this, sitting and eating with them. And Prabhupada also quotes the very good example of Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj. Okay, before we go to the Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, can someone say what are the other people who got cursed, but it was a boon in disguise?
Chitraketu Maharaj, Prabhuji.
Sorry?
Parikshit Maharaj was cursed.
Yes, Parikshit Maharaj was cursed by the Brahmana by Shringi. It was a boon in disguise, because Parikshit Maharaj did not consider that as a curse. Actually, he could have counteracted it. He could have, because Parikshit Maharaj is such a great devotee, he could have counteracted it. He could have counteracted that curse by his power, but he didn't want to. He didn't want to do that, and we can see from the Bhagavatam first canto that he is ready to go through the curse, and he accepted that as a mercy of the Supreme Lord. And by the end of the curse, what happened to him? He attained the Supreme Lord. Okay, anything else?
Manikriva and Nalakuvera.
Chitraketu Maharaj was cursed by Mother Parvati.
Manikriva
Yes.
and
Nalakuvera and
Nalakuvera and Manigriva. Okay, Chitraketu Maharaj. I hope all of you know this story, right? Chitraketu Maharaj, yeah, somebody said Gajendra. So Chitraketu Maharaj was cursed by goddess Parvati, but he became a demon in the next life. But he was a devotee internally. Externally, he was a demon. Internally, he was a devotee. And when he was killed by the thunderbolt of Lord Indra, he attained Supreme Lord. He attained the Supreme. He is actually a great devotee of Lord Shankarsana. He was already, got some benedictions from Lord Shankarsana. So he attained the Supreme Lord. That's again, when great personalities curse, or even sometimes the curses also may become a boon for the devotees. We may see that I'm going through such a difficult situation. Why I am going through this? I am also a devotee. I am praying to Krishna. I am chanting 16 rounds. I took shelter of Krishna, but still, why I am going through this? Many people doesn't understand. That means you don't have faith in Krishna. So when you have faith in Krishna, that you have faith in time also, because Krishna knows what to give at what time. Because we may think that oh, I want things right now. I want the situation to change right now. But Krishna may have a different plan, and the time works according to Krishna's plan, not to our plan. So we have to wait and go through it. So Chitraketu Maharaj, Nalaguyara, Manigriva, they were cursed by Narada Muni, and they got the benediction or a boon to get the darshan of Lord Shri Krishna directly, face to face, which is anchored by all the demigods from all the universes, to get the darshan of the lotus feet and the lotus face of the Supreme Lord. But they got the boon. But actually they were cursed to become a tree, but it was a curse that helped them to take darshan of the Supreme Lord directly. And what was the other boon? So many other boons, like Gajendra.
Prabhu, can you
Gajendra
read Jaya Vijayan, Prabhu? By
Sorry?
Jaya Vijayan.
Yeah.
Kumara's Mataji is saying.
Kumaras, four Kumaras.
Guruji, Narada Muni
Kumaras,
also got
yes.
cursed that he should not be at one place. He will be roaming around.
Yeah, Narada Muni's curse, that he was cursed by Prachena Barhi, the father of the Prachetas. That Narada Muni got cursed, that he cannot, he will become, what is that exact word? Like, he cannot stay in one place. I forgot the exact word. What was that?
He can't be stay in one place for more than 3 days.
Yeah, something like that. But that's, I don't get the right word. But something like that. He got cursed that he cannot stay in one place for a long time. So Narada Muni did not consider this as a curse. Instead, he took it as a boon, and he started traveling all over the three planetary system. Because Narada Muni has the power to travel to any planet. Like, he can go to Padal Loka, he can go to the upper planetary system, middle planetary system, lower planetary system, he can go to the eternal world of the Lord, he can go anywhere. And then he's not affected, even if you go to the Padal Loka, he is not affected by the people in the Vadal Loka. So he can travel anywhere, even at the time of Prabhupada also. Like Prabhupada was doing some kirtan, and suddenly he started singing something else. I don't remember exactly, but everybody, all the disciples are wondering why Prabhupada suddenly started singing something like this. It is not as per the flow of the kirtan. And Prabhupada continued, and then the kirtan ended, and then all the people left. Then some of the disciples asked Prabhupada, why you did that? Then Prabhupada said, you didn't see Narada Muni? Narada Muni was present here. He was sitting here in the kirtan. So, like, Narada Muni was able to travel to every place, and he's not affected because of this curse. Like, for example, when we hear Bhagavatam, when we sit and discuss Bhagavatam, there shall be many great souls will be sitting. We couldn't understand, or we cannot realize, we cannot see them, but they may be sitting. Maybe some demigod sitting in your Bhagavatam classes when you are speaking Bhagavatam. When you go to the temple or whenever you are speaking Bhagavatam, there may be some demigods, because they can come and sit. Even some spirits also can come and sit, because their only hope is Shrimad Bhagavatam. If you know this story of Gokarna, and his brother became a ghost, and he was relieved just by Bhagavatam. So when we sit and hear or speak Bhagavatam, there may be many, many personalities, subtle entities may sit, demigods come and sit. And, one time, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, and I think in Mayapur or Kolkata, I'm not sure, he was giving a class, like they were preparing to give a class. this also we do normally in our programs in the temple or in the house. Like, we don't know how many people will come. So what we'll do, we'll make arrangements. We'll put only some little space. Like, we'll put only 2-3 mat. And then as more people come, then we'll spread the other mat. Okay. Like this, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj was sitting and he was supposed to give a class. And then he saw the disciples, because it's like a roll, it's like a mat is like a roll, roll up mat. So they only opened a little because only little people were there, and then they just opened it very little. Then Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur asked the disciples, why only open little? And then the disciples told, no, Maharaj, Guru Maharaj, only little people are here. So as more people come, we will open it. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj said, no, open it, open full. Because we may be very less in numbers, but there may be demigods who will come and sit for the class. They will hear Shrimad Bhagavatam. So he opened everything. Similarly, Prabhupada also, like, when Prabhupada was in US, many times Prabhupada said, we give our best to invite people to the Bhagavatam sessions. But if they don't turn up, don't worry. He told to his disciples. Because they used to print posters and they used to distribute the pamphlets, invite the Western people to come to the temple, to come to that, the initially when Prabhupada was there in that Second Avenue. So they used to call him, invite all the people to the classes of Srimad Bhagavatam. Very less people will turn up, but Prabhupada is never dejected. He would say that no problem, demigods will come. So Bhagavatam is the only this one. So there's so many curses like this has become a boon for the devotees. So like this, Lord Shiva.
Lord Krishna also, no, Prabhuji.
What
Sorry
was
for
that, Mother?
interruption. Draupadi cursing Lord Krishna.
Draupadi cursing Lord Krishna. Maybe can you explain, Mataji?
Not
No. I
Draupadi,
think
sorry.
not
Gandhari.
Draupadi. It's
Gandhari.
Gandhari.
Yes.
Hare
Gandhari
Krishna,
cursing.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, there is also the thing, no, that Nidra Devi was cursed, or what, that wherever Bhagavatam will be said, or wherever the scriptures will be discussed, you will be there. So it's like when people doze off sometimes. That is
Yeah,
also
that's not a curse. Actually, she got a boon. But
boon.
wherever
Okay,
you
yeah.
are there, wherever Bhagavatam classes are hearing, so happening, you will be there. It's because people doze off.
Yeah.
That's literally you can see. If you go to the temple somewhere, and you see people most of the time doze off. And again, maybe they did. They got up early in the morning, so we don't have to judge them. But at least they are sitting in the Bhagavatam class, and something is going on in their ears, even though they are dozed off. They're sitting and hearing. Sometimes also we are struggle to chant. Like when we sit and take the chanting back, we may be within 1 round, 2 round. We feel sleepy. We sleep. We feel tired. Sometimes our rounds are like off sleep. Like we are meditating. We are in trance actually. But at least it's okay. I think I heard this. I don't know who quoted this. Whose quote was this? But it is okay to chant. It's okay. It's better to struggle in chanting than to struggle in the 84 million species. Yeah. So it's always better to struggle to chant. Like if you're struggling to chant, it's a very good sign. You are struggling. You're trying to improve. That's best than to go through 84 million species again. So that's why that we have to realize that we got the boon from Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu of chanting the holy names of the Lord. He distributed it freely to everyone and anyone without any conditions, because even Lord Krishna has some conditions to surrender. He told to surrender, but Mahaprabhu never told to surrender. He told just chant. That's enough. So like there's so many things, and that's how the the curse becomes a boon for the devotees. And then Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj. Prabhupada is giving the example of Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj. Because Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj was such a great personality that he was completely absorbed in chanting the holy names of the Lord. And his only possession was few coupons and the bead. Bead also, I think he made it with the clothes, made the beads with the cloth. So something like that I heard. So his only possession was some coupons, but he was in such a renounced order that he doesn't want any disturbance while he was chanting the holy names of the Lord, because he was completely absorbed in the chanting of the holy names of the Lord, in the eternal pastimes of Shri Radha and Krishna. But he don't want any disturbance from anyone from outside the world. Like, for example, many times it is very, very common in India whenever you saw sadhu. Like, for example, recently, not only in India, even outside India, many Indians, it's a culture amongst the Indians, that whenever you see people who is very saintly, looks in a saffron dress and like a sannyasi, immediately we pay obeisances, we bow down, we try to touch their feet, things like that. So recently, Iswaran Sivaram Samaraj was traveling from Europe, and he was here in Dubai for a few days, and then now he's going to Mayapur, and he left Dubai. He went to, I think he's going to Ayodhya, and then he's going to Mayapur. So Maharaj, I had the opportunity to serve him because I work in the airport in the Dubai. So I get a chance to, accompany some, Maharajas when they travel. I can go inside the airport, inside the terminal, go cross the security check and the immigration counters. Then I can go to the boarding gate also. So when Maharaj came, like I was waiting in the airport, Maharaj came. He arrived in the airport. He was dropped off. He just arrived in the car. He just came off from the car, and then what happened? I touched his feet. I took his blessings, and then some few disciples also were there. They also touched, and immediately seeing this, there are so many other porters. There's like they are the airport staff. They are not even related to ISKCON. They're not even related to anyone else. But they all are standing there because their job is to wait there to, as soon as the passenger comes, they want to offer help, things like that. So many porters and many airport staff, they all came and took blessings of or touched the feet of Iswaran Sivaram Samaraj. So why I am sharing this? It's our culture in India that as soon as we see a sannyasi, a person in saffron, we go take blessings. So similarly, when Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj was there, he was disturbed by so many materialistic people that they will come and they will ask the blessings of Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj. Oh, Swamiji, Babaji, Maharajji, please bless me, give me a boon, give me a benediction like this. And it was always too much for him. So what he used to do, he used to go and sit in a public toilet, a latrine, a public toilet. We may think, oh, I don't want to chant in the toilet, it's so filthy. Imagine public toilets in India, we don't like to stay there, even when we are traveling. For example, when you go to railway stations, bus stations, or even any public toilets in India, we go to the toilet, and as soon as we finish the purpose of going there, immediately we want to come out, because it's not a nice place to stay in India, most of the toilets or public toilets. But Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj used to sit and chant for hours together. Why? Because so that nobody will come and disturb him. So he was such a great personality that Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, the spiritual master of our dear Srila Prabhupada, accepted Gaur Kishodas Babaji Maharaj as the spiritual master. And if you read the the biographies, you can see that Bhaktisiddhanta Sarsi Maharaj waited for such a long time, and he wanted to take initiation only from Gaur Kishodas Babaji. And finally, Gaur Kishodas Babaji Maharaj accepted him as a disciple, because he don't want to accept anyone as a disciple. And the only disciple that he had was Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada. So that's why Prabhupada concludes that that the curse was a boon to Lord Shiva in his own way, that he behaved like this so that he is deprived of the share, so that he don't have to sit and speak or eat with the materialistic people. Because that's an exalted position of Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva, if you saw this curse before, Daksha curse, or that's a curse. But before Daksha blasphemed Lord Shiva, some of the slokas before that, he told that he's a monkey-eyed rascal. He's behaving like a insane person. Like he's putting all the ashes on his body. He cries and locks in the crematorium. He is behaving like an insane man. So if you see great personalities, those who don't want to affected by the materialistic gunas, sometimes they do like this to avoid the material people. So, for example, in the Shrimad Bhagavatam, we can see the example of who was that? Jadabharata. Jadabharat, he was exactly like that. He was behaving like an insane man, but internally he was completely absorbed in the love of Krishna. He was completely absorbed in the meditation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna. And his only goal, because he remembers the last two lives, that he was a King Bharat, and then he was a dear Bharat, and then now he is a Jada Bharat. So he remembers his past life. So he was acting like a Jada. Jada means is like, insane, very, very not mentally well. Jada Mari, like, it's almost like lifeless. So he was behaving like that. Why? Because he don't want to get affected or carried away by the association of the materialistic people. Okay. So Lord Shiva was such a great personality that he was internally completely absorbed in the meditation of the Supreme Lord. Even if you know the story because Lord Shiva liked to hear Shrimad Bhagavatam. One time there was one temple, if you know, I don't know the temple name exactly. This temple in Kerala that opens only 7 days in a week. 7 days in a year. Okay, Lord Shivaji's temple, and there was such a great devotee. His name is Punganam, yes, Punganam, I think so. So he used to recite Srimad Bhagavatam every day because he was just sorry.
Kottiyur.
Okay, your voice is echoing, Mataji. What is that place you said?
Kuttiyur, she is saying now, Prabhu.
Kuttiyur. Temple. So, because I heard this story, I never been there. So it was like, just across the river, and this devotee used to recite Srimad Bhagavatam. I think it's the pastimes of Dhruva Maharaj, if I'm not wrong. So he will keep it. He will bookmark. He will read for some time, and then he'll bookmark. It's a lot. No, I think it's Krishna's pastime with Rukmani, something like that. I don't remember exactly. So he will.
Yes, Prabhu, Krishna and Rukmani pastime.
Okay, thank you very much. So he will leave that bookmark and then he will go, and then next day he will come back. That bookmark will come to the same pages where he started. So again he will read. Like this he was reading every day, and he thought, okay, maybe I am forgetting to put the bookmark so properly, something like that. And then he used to read the same every day. And then the seventh day, it was the time that he left the book, and then he came back and he realized that the temple will be closed and he cannot collect his book. So he went back later after the temple was closed, and then he heard the discussion between there is a male voice and a female voice. They were talking, that one voice. Okay, let me read this Bhagavatam for you. The male voice was saying, and then as he was reading, the lady voice stops, and she says, no, you are not reading it nicely. You are not reading like the devotee Pungana. So he is such a nice devotee. He's reading the Bhagavatam in such a way that is so pleasuring to hear. But you are not reading in that way. So like this, he heard this, and then when he saw in the keyhole, he peeped inside, and he saw it was Lord Shiva and Parvati. They are the one. They want to read the Bhagavatam again and again, the same pastime of Lord Krishna with Rukmani, because they were immersing themselves in hearing the stories of Lord Shri Krishna and Srimati Radharani and Rukmani. And similarly, our Sanatan Goswami Prabhupada, he used to go do parikrama, the Govardhan every day. If you know if I don't know how many of you went there. How many of you went to Vrindavan Dham? How many of you went to Vrindavan Dham? Everybody?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Very nice.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So if you didn't go, then please plan to go, or at least have the desire to go. The Lord will manifest. So there is a Govardhan. So Sanatan Goswami used to go parikrama every day, and there is a place called Chakreshwar Mahadev. So there, what happened? He used to sit and read Bhagavatam. Sanatan Goswami Prabhupada used to sit and read Bhagavatam there. And what happened? Lord Shiva used to come and sit every day and listen to Srimad Bhagavatam. So every day, this is what will happen. And then at one point, Lord Shiva, Sanatan Goswami felt, because that place was so much infected with the mosquitoes. The mosquitoes are disturbing him so much. So he thought, okay, this is not the right place, so let me go and read in some other place. And then Lord Shiva became very upset. He said, no, you don't leave. You sit and read Bhagavatam here. I will, make sure that there is no mosquito in this place. So, like Lord Shiva called the personality who is in charge, the demigod who is in charge of the mosquitoes, and he told that this place should never be infected with mosquitoes again, because I want to hear Bhagavatam. So like this is the quality of Lord Shri Shiva, that he is always absorbed. He's such a great personality. Okay. Then in text 20 we can see, did I cover 19? No, 19. And then what happened after cursing? That Daksha left the assembly. He was requested by all the great personalities not to leave, but he left the assembly. Even Brahma was there. Brahma was the in charge of all the demigods, and also his father. So he also might have told not to leave, but he left. So Prabhupada writes, in the purport, lust, anger, and the mode of passion. Okay, these three things makes a man crazy. Okay, so if you see in the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Shri Krishna says this. Okay, anybody remember the sloka? There are three gates leading to this hell. For the hell, there are three gates. What are they?
Lust, anger, and greed.
Krodesha, Rajoguna, Samabhava.
That is a nice sloka, but there is something else. Krishna particularly says the three gates are leading to this hell. Kamayesha, Krodesha, that's a different sloka. But this is a particularly talking about three gates to the hell.
Trividam
Trividam narakashetyam
narakashyedam
dvaram
dvaram
nashtanam
nashanam
atmanah
atmanah
kamakroda
kamakrodas
tata
tata lobas tasmad etat trayam tyajit.
Okay, so Krishna says there are Trividam narakashetyam. Okay. Trividam narakashetyam. So Krishna says there are three gates to hell. What are they? Kama, Krodha, Lobha. Lust, anger, and greed. Lust, anger, and greed. So these are the three things one should give up. And we can see in the second chapter of Shrimad Bhagavatam, second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, how one develops attachment and how lust forms and how that lust leads to anger and how the anger leads to illusion and how one downfall. Dhyayato vishayambumsam sangaste subhajayate sanga sangayate kamat kamat vijayate. What is the next sloka?
Krodhat bhavati sammoha. Sammohas
Vibramaha,
vibrama. Prativramshat buddhinasho. Buddhinasho pranashati.
Pranashati means that's the downfall. So one should give up anger and envy because lust, anger can be, even greed can also utilized in the service of Krishna. One can become very greedy to serve Krishna. Okay, that is what the gopis are saying. Like you should become very, very obsessive to do service to the Supreme Lord. And anger, one can use the anger in the service of the Lord. Those who are offending the Supreme Lord, you can become angry with them. And envy, this can also be in Prabhupada, writes in one of the but I forgot, I think in the Shrimad Bhagavatam. You can use the envy even in the service of the Lord by becoming envious against the persons, those who are envious about the Lord. Basically the Mayavadis. The Mayavadis are envious towards the Lord. And you can use your envy not with the devotees, but using your envy towards the Mayavadis, those who are criticizing the Lord, those who are blaspheming the Supreme Lord, because they're so envious. Here also you see, Daksha was not able to accept the position of Lord Shiva. He could not tolerate it. He could not tolerate it. And he was even, a person whose hunger for honor becomes shameless to express, to expect respect, and he is ready to express the expectation to get the respect. Okay, I hope you understand. So here Daksha become hunger for honor, and he was expressing even shamelessly that he has to be respected. He has to be respected. But Vaishnavas, what is our philosophy? What was told to us by Mahaprabhu? What was the third verse of So Vaishnavas will be ready to offer all the respects to anyone and at the same time expect no respect from anyone. No respect from anyone. Like the example given here, like I remember the story of Raghunath Das. Goswami. If you all remember, I think that 2 days ago was his disappearance day. Raghunath Das Goswami was such a great devotee. He used to pay obeisances 1,000 times. He was living in Vrindavan in the Radhakund. He used to pay obeisances to 1,000 devotees like 1,000 times he pay obeisances to Lord Sri Krishna, and 2,000 times he will pay obeisances to the devotees, and he will count it. This is what we should count, like it is told in the in the Sadgoswami Ashtakam. You can understand that there are you have to count the chanting, the number of because sometimes they will ask some devotees, some new people will ask why you are counting, why you have to count how many rounds you are chanting, 16 rounds, 108 times. We have to count because it was told by our acharyas, and then we have to count the number of obeisances that we offer. So Raghunath Das Goswami, even when he was very old, he used to do this one. And many devotees told, oh Raghunath, why are you doing this? You are very old. Please don't do this. But Raghunath told, no, if you don't want to accept my obeisances, you can move away. That is your desire. That is your wish. But please don't tell me not to do this, because this is my, respects to all the devotees. So like this, one should be ready to offer respects to everyone. So envy is such a very dangerous thing. It will cause so much disturbance in our spiritual life. Once I heard Raghunath Swami Maharaj told, because when we become sometimes envy, we will become envious with amongst the devotees. Sometimes what happens? We will become envious with some devotee. Oh, why only he is getting kirtan service? Why I am not getting the kirtan service? Yeah, why he is only getting this service? Why I am not getting this? I am also qualified to do that. I am actually greater than him. This is not showing our Trinada Pisuni channel, right? So we become very, very envious towards other devotees. Even within the devotees communities, within the service, when we do, we become very, very envious. How many of us are ready to take the chapel service? Nobody. Everybody wants a deity service, because that is where we get recognition. People want that recognition. That, oh, I want to do something in the deity service only. How many of us are ready to take the chapel service, which is considered very, very, which is considered lonely, but it is one of the greatest service. Okay, so we should not become envious. And sometimes what happens, we become envious with other devotees, and we try to take away the other service, and snatch it from them. Like, for example, garland making, particularly the Matajis, they make garlands, and they want to take away the service of others because of the envy towards them. So when we do garland like this and offer it to Lord Sri Krishna with a lot of envy, and it was told by Radhanath Swami Maharaj, His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, that it doesn't feel that Krishna is wearing a garland, that he feel that he is wearing a snake, which is very, very envious. Because the snake is always envious. It bites unnecessarily, at unnecessary people. So it is always envious towards others. So Krishna feels that he is wearing a snake, not a garland. So that's why envy is such a thing that is very, very detrimental to our Krishna consciousness, and one should give up. And how to give up? By becoming humbler, putting ourselves, considering ourselves that lower than anyone else. And the last thing in the 20th sloka is Nandishwara become upset and he started cursing. So what is the lesson that we have to learn from this is that Nandishwara cursed Daksha and all the followers, that you will see later. I think the next following slokas you will see what was the curse. And then what happened, that Brahmanas will counter curse. I think Brihumani counter curse the Nandishwara and Lord Shiva. So the learning, what we have to understand is that we should not curse or do these things. Like, for example, Lord Shiva was very tolerant. He took he accepted the curse and he walked away. You will see this one. After all this thing happening, Lord Shiva will quietly walk away after this. You will see this one in the next classes. But Nandishwara become upset. Two things we have to learn. One is Nandishwara was upset because his master was disrespected. So similarly, we should exhibit the same quality. If somebody disrespects or blasphemes Lord Sri Krishna or Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or Srila Prabhupada or our own spiritual master, then we should not tolerate it. We should not tolerate it. Either we should walk away or we should kill. We cannot kill that person. Don't go and kill someone. We cannot kill that person, but we can counteract and then we can walk away from that place. You should not sit in the place and hear the blasphemy and continue to hear the blasphemy happening to our gurus or Prabhupada. That is one. Second thing is, even in that case, you should not we should not curse the whole community. For example, Nandishwara started cursing Daksha, and there are so many other Brahmanas who were present in the assembly. Because as Prabhupada writes, some of the Brahmanas were also envious toward Lord Shiva because of the exalted position that he was. And because of that ignorance, they were completely in ignorance that's why they are having this envy toward Lord Shri Krishna. So, for example, sometimes it happens, like for example, in India politically, most of the time the Brahmana community was offended like anything. Even in the southern part, politically, there's so many politicians, they do that just for the caste vote. But even if somebody does some mistake, we should not consider that the whole community is offensive. Like sometimes some Brahmana commits an offense, doesn't mean the whole Brahmana community is like that. Sometimes even Vaishnavas, our own devotees, they commit sometimes some mistakes, they fall down from the position. But if they continue the devotional service, we should not look back at their fault. Krishna says this. And if they are determined to continue the Krishna consciousness, no problem. Krishna will take care of it. It's between that devotee and Krishna. So irrespective, sometimes we start, telling, oh, this whole thing is happening because of this temple leader. So many things will come up. Okay, but we are not like that. I think I heard this Raghunath Das Goswami or Raghunath Bhatta Goswami. I'm not sure. I heard this katha, but any one of this Raghunath, that they won't sit in any place where they criticize anyone else. They immediately walk away from that place. They don't want to hear any criticism because they don't want to take anyone's side, because they told that I think Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, he told that it is between the person and Krishna. Who am I to judge? So we have to take the examples of our acharyas. And in a congregation, in a temple environment, there will be so many problems, there will be so many issues, because always there will be problem, because Prabhupada told that we collect people from all the caste, all community. Not all 5 fingers are the same. Of course, there will be problem. But the goal is to serve the spiritual master, serve the Supreme Lord. That's it. We should not become affected by things happening around. You should be detached from all these things. If any criticism happening, walk away, stay away from this. Tell them that I am not part of this. So that your Krishna consciousness will become stronger and stronger. Okay, so I'll stop here. I'll take a couple of questions. I think the time is, I'm beyond that time, and I always do that. So I'll stop here. Any questions? I'll take a couple of questions.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you so much. Today's session was very interactive and very interesting also, with so many realistic examples which you have given to us. Thank you so much. Suma Mataji, is it for question, Mataji?
Hare Krishna, yes, Mataji.
Yeah, please, Mataji, go ahead.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Pranams, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, we know that the qualities of the devotee should be like that attracts Krishna is one of that is cleanliness, no, Prabhuji? So here in this purports of Prabhupada, like in the shlokas also, it has been said that Krishna is not clean, who has not taken bath for so many days or something like that in that, no, Prabhuji? So how is it? How can we understand that, Prabhuji? He is a Parama Vaishnava.
Krishna
Shiva.
doesn't take bath. No,
Krishna
Krishna takes
likes
bath.
that quality of being cleanliness. I mean, cleanliness.
Yeah, yeah.
And so,
But where is that purport? In which purport?
yes,
It is
Prabhuji.
shown. This purport?
It is in yesterday's, Prabhuji. Yesterday, we didn't have much
Oh, yesterday
time.
purport. Okay. See, first of all,
He
cleanliness.
lives in filthy places. Can I read it out?
No, it's okay. That's fine, Mataji. I understood. Okay, I thought it's today because I was wondering why I didn't, cover that one. So cleanliness, there are two things. One is internal cleanliness and external cleanliness. Okay. So the great personalities, they consider themselves, or what, after one stage they become avatuda. Avatuda means they beyond the rules and regulations. The rules and regulations are for the beginners like us. We are the sadhakas. We are practitioners. But one who has perfected everything um, is not bound by any rules. So Lord Shiva position is so exalted. Okay, Lord Shiva position is so exalted. It is not that he doesn't want to take bath, but he is such a great Vaishnava. He is always in the meditation of the Supreme Personality of the God. For example, this good example is the story of Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj we discussed today. That he used to sit and chant in the toilet. He used to sit and chant in the toilet. So one who remembers the Lord all the time, the purpose of everything is to meditate on the Supreme Lord. If that is the goal, then you don't worry about the externals. Taking bath, putting tilak, how many, these all are like anybody can become a devotee just by wearing kurta. Like for example, a Prabhu can become a devotee by spending 200 rupees. Like, you buy one dhoti and one kurta, put tilak, one kantimela, you are a devotee. That is not a devotee. Devotee means you should develop the qualities of the devotees. And once you become, like for example, Nityananda Prabhu is also considered to be an avatuda. He is not bound by any rules. Although he came in the guise of a devotee, but he is not bound by any rules. He exhibited so many, things that is not bound by rules. Similarly, Sanatan Goswami Prabhupada, when he came to Puri, his body was completely affected by so many, he was infected because some story says that he drank some water. Like some story says that he was infected because of some pandemic going through that area.
It was water,
Because
Prabhuji. It was water.
yeah, there are many versions to that. So the point is, when he came to Mahaprabhu, he don't even want to touch because his pus was oozing from his body constantly. He was completely in a state that he was contaminated. But he thought he was contaminated. But Mahaprabhu saw that his devotion, and he accepted Sanatan Goswami Prabhupada. So the externals are not very, very important. Krishna sees only what is good in you. Okay. If your intentions are good, Krishna takes only your intention. If your actions are good, Krishna takes only your action. Two examples. One, Putana came to kill Krishna. Okay. So her intention was to kill Krishna, which was demoniac. But her action, that she fed Krishna her own milk, the breast milk. So Krishna saw, okay, her action was good because she served me. So Krishna gave her a position, the highest position, like, Aho Bhakt, that's Loka. You all know this one. So Krishna took only the action, not the intention. Similarly, you see the Vritasur story. Vritasur externally, his actions was that he was attacking the demigod, he was killing the demigods, the people of the demigods. His action was demoniac. But internally, he was completely absorbed in the meditation of the Supreme Lord. If you read the Vritasur story. So Krishna took the intention, not the action. So like that, Krishna sees what is good in you. This cleanliness and all this is or less or for our advancement, but this is not for anyone in the stage of Lord Shiva. When we see in the Bhagavatam that Rishabhadev, he doesn't go anywhere. He used to pass his stool, more urine, everything on the same place. He used to stay there in the same place. We cannot consider that Rishabhadev is unclean. His stool was creating fragrant smell, like that fragrance spread over all over that place. That is the power of the greatest Vaishnava. So cleanliness is all these things. The rules and regulations are for the sadhakas like us. Okay, Mataji.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Any other question?
Mataji, I can see there is a question in the chat from Divya Mataji.
Okay, is there anything on the chat? Can you please read out?
Yes. Yes, Prabhu. Okay. Prabhu, can you read this or shall I read for everyone? Okay, I'll read for everyone, Prabhu.
Yes.
Here, due to curse, Lord Shiva could avoid associating with materialistic demigods, but he's always surrounded with ghosts, demons, and who are in lower mode of consciousness. How to understand this?
Yeah, so he's actually giving his mercy and association. So he's not affected like how he's in charge of those people. That is his service. So he's doing his service, and at the same time, he's not affected by the modes that they carry. Like, for example, we discussed the story of Narada Muni. Narada Muni goes everywhere, but he is not affected by the modes of the people that he associates. Rather, he gives his association and doesn't take their association. Similarly, like, this is one thing that we have to learn from Lord Shiva, that we cannot avoid the materialistic people, but at the same time, we should stay aloof from them. We should know to what extent I can, give my association, and to what extent I can stay or associate with them and come out of it. Because sometimes what happens in the name of preaching, that we do so many materialist things, like, we want to do this, so that I want to mingle with them, then I can preach Krishna consciousness to others. That we should draw a thin line where I should stop this, because sometimes devotee get dragged in that. So this is a lesson that we should learn from Lord Shiva and from even Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada, he was such a great Vaishnava. He was living in Vrindavan. He left Vrindavan. He went to the Western world. He was associating with the hippies. But he was never affected by the consciousness of the hippies. Rather, he transformed all the hippies to great devotees. Right? So this depends on the purity level. Purity is the force, Prabhupada said. Lord Shiva has such a great level of purity that he can associate with them, because that is his service. Is the controlling in charge of those people. So he is associating with them, but he's not affected. Similarly, Prabhupada. So this depends on the purity. Like, we should know what is our purity, and we should go to that extent, not cross the line. Not cross the line. So, for example, when we play kabaddi, I hope all of you know this kabaddi game. Like, sometimes, we go from this side to the other side. Like, for example, somebody who is very thin, is not strength, is not strong enough. He just goes, he says kabaddi, 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 and then he will come back immediately. Right? He won't do anything. He'll just go, cross the line, touch that other side, the opponent's side, and then he will come back. He won't do anything. Because it is good. At least he saved himself. At least he saved himself. What will happen if he stays for a long time? If he stays for a long time, kabaddi, kabaddi, then all the team will catch him and then he will be out. So Krishna consciousness is like this. It's like a kabaddi game. We should know what is our power, what is our purity, then we can go to the other side and be very, very careful in that. But if somebody, like in the kabaddi game, if somebody who is very powerful, very strong, he goes to the opponent side, he stays kabaddi, 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 he stays for a long time. He allows everybody to come and catch him. And then he comes, drags everybody to this side and touches the line, makes everyone out. So that is Prabhupada. That is a devotee, a pure devotee. Prabhupada went to the other side. He went with the Maha Mantra, and then he allowed everybody to catch hold of his feet, and then he dragged everyone to become Krishna consciousness. So it depends on the purity. So Lord Shiva, Lord Sri, the other demigods, all of them are great, great personalities. Like Prabhupada, he is a pure devotee. It depends on our purity. So we don't have to worry about that. But we should be remembering, because of this question that you asked, we should understand that we cannot try to become like that. We should know our purity, level of purity, and then accordingly we should go and preach to the materialistic people.
Very nice example of Kabaddi. Very good. Yeah. So any other question? We can end here. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you once again, Prabhu.
अनंतकोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय। श्रीला प्रभुपाद
की जय। श्रीमद् भागवतम
की जय।
प्रभुपाद की जय।
Hari Bol. Shall I end the session, Prabhu?
Yes, Mother.
Yeah. Hare Krishna to all the devotees. Pranam.
हरे कृष्णा माता जी।
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम।
Hare Krishna.